Texan or Save Retidian members say the proposed Marine base and firing range will not be good for the preservation of Guam's cultural and historical sites, and they point to documents prepared by the Department of Defense itself as proof.
Slapping down a range near cultural sites, especially sensitive cultural sites, and being in an area where it's got the range of endangered species and threatened species that it does in particular, that it's anything but good.
Texan or Save Retidian member Kelly Taitano is responding to statements made by Marine Corps Activity Guam officials that the proposed Marine base and firing range are good for the preservation of cultural and historical sites.
That statement is a sign of ultimate disrespect to the Chamorro people. I have personal connection with the land that they're going to put the firing range on. My grandfather lived up there for a time. My mom lived up there, and they lived off the land. And to put a firing range next to our sacred places and destroying, actually they would be destroying on the footprint of the firing range. They will be destroying, it says this in the documents itself, that they will destroy many of our cultural sites up in Northwest Field, and they would also definitely impact in our sacred sites at La Texan and the neighboring villages.
Texan members are referring to the final supplemental environmental impact statement, which is a study that was conducted by the Department of Defense. Chapter 5, page 393 states, quote, implementation of Alternative 5 could cause direct adverse effects to 20 known NRHP-eligible archaeological sites. Potential indirect adverse effects could occur to 3 NRHP-eligible archaeological sites. Potential impacts could also occur to 2 NRHP-eligible sites, and as a result of reduced access. In addition, culturally important natural resources could be directly impacted due to removal of limestone forests. Under this alternative, there would be more adverse effects from construction at Northwest Field than any of the other live fire training range complex alternatives, end quote.
It's affecting the villages of Arunao. It would be over La Texan, Pajon, and Hanapsan. That's 4 ancestral villages who are going to be impacted.
Chapter 5, page 400 states, custody and control of 268 acres would be reassigned from DOI to DOD, and some areas that are currently accessible to the public would become restricted access areas. New restrictions on public access to the land and submerged lands encumbered by the Northwest Field live fire training range complex could have long-term indirect adverse social-cultural impacts due to the potential that access restrictions to subsistence fishing and recreation areas would deteriorate social networks, end quote.
It's this idea that the military is the best protector of our cultural sites, when in fact we know in history they've dug up our burials and they have yet to put them in a safe place, and they continue to destroy our sites. How can we believe what they say if they're not living up to the bargain? They're part of the bargain of protecting our burials.
Texan members say they hope the governor of Guam will step in and find a way to stop the construction of the firing range complex at the Northwest Field.